Okay, cool. So my League of Legends, it loaded in the size of, like, I'm not even kidding, the glue strip on a post-it note, and it got stuck like that, and I had to do some things. But I'm back. I'm loaded into the game right now. Taking a look at the bottom lane, inFe and Nekrogen facing off down there. But Sauron's Pantheon looks like it's coming around for a gank right now. Get the absolute zero going down. Nekrogen, nope, nope. Just gonna leave. Good dodge right there by Nekrogen. inFe getting tagged with that Crescent Strike, or what is it called? I don't quite remember. But now Sauron in a pretty bad spot, getting caught between three members of the enemy team right there. Brand lighting up the target. Kha'Zix getting the kill there off on him, and now pushing up against Nekrogen on this bottom lane here. However, Armor's Swain is coming down from the top portion of the map right there. Brisk with the Seer, unfortunately, was trying to go for a stun there. Nekrogen jumps out of the way of the Pillar of Flame, determined to not be hit by anything. Nekrogen is completely abusing that teleport, or as much as he can. That is the Crescent Strike. I was correct. And now Brand's circling up towards the speed shrine. Looks like he's going to break off and maybe go elsewhere. No, he's going to go ahead and recall. This map size is a little bit smaller than Summoner's Rift, so you have the ability to kind of recall and come back fairly quickly, and you can do that, and you can be pretty okay most of the time.
Yep, meanwhile, KrisIam did get a free Storm Shield, so Sin's going to be running around with that. Sauron looking for another gank bottom. We do have Armor still in the area, but he just ported back to base right before my camera could catch him. So it's going to be Nekrogen and Sauron. Can they get the kill onto inFe? Nekrogen jumps in. He's going to get the slow onto inFe. And now we do see Sauron coming in. Saves his stun for when inFe goes for the retreat. Nekrogen trying to make sure he can pace his abilities, but inFe is going to get away maybe with that Blood Bow. Fine, there we go. Saving that second proc on that ultimate on Diana for the finishing execution. Meanwhile, konfetarius comes in, instantly gets exhausted, but look at that damage coming out from this Kha'Zix, putting out so much damage on the Pantheon, also forcing Nekrogen on Diana to run away. konfetarius has chosen to evolve his enlarged claws first, putting out a lot of execution damage whenever someone is isolated. Like right now, Nekrogen needs to watch out. Even with that health relic, he's just going to get instantly executed. There we go. There is the Q attack and taking out Diana. Are we going to see BuddhaRice and konfetarius be able to finish this channel? It's just Diana alone. Diana does go for the interrupt, but there's the bubble from Kayle, and here comes Pantheon with the ultimate, trying to save his teammate. Not going to happen, but can he pick up the kill onto BuddhaRice? Maybe, maybe not. There's the absolute fury. He does get the kill onto Kayle, but konfetarius is still alive alongside inFe. They're going to pick up this Boneyard to make it another 3-cap for Pex.
And KrisIam coming down, looking to try and get a fling off on Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix is going to go ahead and retreat from there. inFe's going to take over the job of being in the bottom lane there. BuddhaRice and HaIfhearted having a little bit of a disagreement there, and HaIfhearted is escaping with Painkillar style hit points, running away there. And he's going to go ahead, he's going to drop that. He's going to hit that recall button faster than you've pressed recall before. Armor getting chased down towards his point. Is someone going to get there? That Ravenous Flock keeping him alive for quite a while, but not able to give him enough time to get back to his point. KrisIam flinging konfetarius, and oh, that damage on Singed right there. Singed being hit extremely hard. Normally Singed a little bit tankier than that, but getting a big chunk taken out of his hit points. Painkillar child support is able to push up on the windmill. However, CaptnBuwberry able to silence Sauron over at the refinery, and Painkillar child support is going to continue to have their 3-cap.
Yeah, Pex is doing really well in maintaining that 3-cap. They don't care if they lose the tower. They just make sure they take another one. They're just trading towers back and forth between the windmill and the boneyard. They're doing very well pacing themselves, and konfetarius is doing really well on this new champion, playing that assassin role, kind of roaming around and picking off targets. Has gone for that early damage with that brutalizer, but then built that glacial shroud for the extra cooldown. Especially if you go for the evolving, claws on that Q, you have so much execution damage. You just want to spam that as much as possible. Meanwhile, at the top portion, Painkillar gets caught by Swain. BuddhaRice putting out so much free damage as that Kog'Maw does not get stunned by Brand. Dodges that right out of the way. Meanwhile, Sauron does get caught by konfetarius. konfetarius taking out so much health from Sauron. Can he finish off both members? He's putting out a lot of damage. He leaps out of the way of that artillery strike, but BuddhaRice barely manages to live and take out that Kha'Zix. before retreating. Meanwhile, BuddhaRice and HaIfhearted are zoned away from Armor and Chris. Armor is out of mana though, so Painkillar can come back in and help his teammates, but running right through the poison trail, not the smartest moves. There's the fling. BuddhaRice helping out. Will Painkillar live despite the poison trail? He is going to, no, he will go down to that last tick at 24 health. BuddhaRice is still milling about at this low health. I don't know what he's doing here, but I guess he understands that BuddhaRice is also very low. And BuddhaRice now picking up that health relic, and here comes the Pantheon ult. He's been baiting that, but he gets executed before Pantheon can reach him, and his Acadian surprise will not take out CaptnBuwberry.
Brand earlier in that engagement was saved himself with a combination of BuddhaRice tagging him with the ultimate when he became the focus target, and then popping a stun off on Singe to escape. So HaIfhearted's Brand was alive for a lot longer because of that neat series of events. Up at the top, however, Sauron and konfetarius also having a disagreement of sorts. Exhaust goes down off on konfetarius, but konfetarius still seems to have the other hand. The Hex Drinker had activated, but it wasn't enough to save him. Kha'Zix was able to take him out. Armor was looking to make a dive in for konfetarius, but is going to get intercepted by Painkillar and then by Brand, and konfetarius is right there like, hey, come get me, just kiting him around, being the object of his burning desire for destruction.
Well, BuddhaRice now forced to defend the drill, while Diana actually has come up towards the middle portion of the map that leaves Singed and Sauron on Pantheon down in the bottom, but Nekrogen is going to get caught. There's a stun, and that's instant death for Diana, and that's going to bring the attention of Hex down to Sauron and Chris. They are coming in for the gank. Two people coming in to make it a 4v2. There's the snowball onto Chris. Chris is extremely slowed, and the stun lands on the Sauron. Look at that leap going in from konfetarius, instantly putting out a lot of damage on the Sauron. Backs out, not wanting to stand in that poison trail. Jumps back in to put out that range damage and picks off the kill with his spike racks. He did get the evolving wings, it seems. Yes, he did get it for that reset and also the extra range on that leap. So very, very versatile champion already on that Kha'Zix.
HaIfhearted inFe still hanging out around the lower end of the map, but up at the top, BuddhaRice is sandwiched in between Painkillar and CaptnBuwberry's Kayle there, and trying to do some damage there. konfetarius jumping in to finish him off. Kayle did not want to get close enough to try and finish off that Kog'Maw, because that Acadian surprise combined with any damage that Kog'Maw dealt would have been enough to kill CaptnBuwberry had he gotten too close. Painkillar just hung out and baited it out until Kha'Zix was able to arrive. However, they are closing in around Kayle, and they do get her. 3 people to 1. Unfortunate situation for Kayle to get caught in, and now HaIfhearted trying to slow down Armor. Now Armor getting caught in an unfortunate place between konfetarius and HaIfhearted there. Nekrogen taking a lot of damage right there in that engagement. Now Armor and HaIfhearted having a bird and fire discussion down there at the bottom, while Sauron tried to lay up at the top, but Sauron was taken out, and Armor going down as well. And Painkillar and Child Support has just been in control so far.
Yeah, it's not that they've really dominated any one part of the game, but they've just been consistently holding on to the 3 cap. It hasn't even been like a 5 cap or anything, but they haven't really lost the 3 cap at any point in the game. We're seeing that difference. You know, it's only been 15 minutes, but that steady hold has allowed this huge lead for Pegs, 14 to 55 and counting against Feel the Vibe right now. We are going to see BuddhaRice going up against Armor and BuddhaRice once again. HaIfhearted comes in from the side for that extra damage, but we are going to see Sauron ulting, and Painkillar is here too though. Sauron jumps in under the tower, is going to take out BuddhaRice with that guaranteed crit. Painkillar now trying to defend the tower. Look at konfetarius jumping in from long range with that leap, putting out so much damage onto Armor, but will get slowed and tossed back by Singed. That's actually HaIfhearted being tossed back. konfetarius still putting out some good damage onto Sauron, helps pick off the kill. There's the reset on the leap, gets another kill alongside Painkillar, and now they're jumping back onto Chris. Tries to jump in front of him to block him, but gets flung right back into the poison trail, barely surviving, and leaps out of that artillery shot. Very, very good reaction time coming out from Kha'Zix right now, and Painkillar jumps right back in with his ensemble force as BuddhaRice comes in with the damage to take out Kog'Maw. And
Kha'Zix picking up the legendary there. Good leap play. Bottom lane, though, inFe has been slowly getting damage in on Nekrogen. Nekrogen looking a little bit worse for the wear, but inFe is really running low on mana at this point. They had an engagement a couple of moments ago that looked like it was going to go pretty bad, but inFe was able to duck on out of there, and now Nekrogen getting up in his face again while he is under the tower. However, inFe doesn't have minions at the moment, but he's going to eat one of the other guys. minions and get a nice little health boost from that. And he's going to back off. He's going to circle around again. He's trying to deliver some of that snowball harass, and it's slowly working. He needs to chip away at Nekrogen whenever his shield is not available. And that tower is getting closer and closer to neutral. It's going to force BuddhaRice down here to chase inFe away, which is going to affect the fight up at the top of the windmill, where the point has just gone neutral, and Sauron, taking a lot of damage, was the first one to fall in that engagement. Armor and Chris IM are doing their best to wear them away with magic damage over time, but HaIfhearted is going to be able to back out and escape. konfetarius over the wall, jumping over it to zone Armor out a little bit, and Armor is going to retreat. konfetarius is going to need one good jump or skill shot in order to be able to take him out. He's going to get that leap right there and take him down. Nekrogen, though, oh, nope, going to jump out of the way of Nekrogen. Not going to get caught by that Crescent Strike, though. And Kayle's going to throw down the Invincible there. Nekrogen is going to go down as the last action of the game. Evelynn Child Support is going to take Game 1 over Feel the Vibe.